as I said, you are just going a little bit on the fast side there.
Okay, let me slow it back down. I keep
with your lift. And if you don't pay attention, to, you know, as you lift the pot, then it will have a tendency to widen and open at the top. If you don't consciously do something to counteract that, it's centrifugal force, isn't it? You've got to remember, we've got two forces working on a pot: gravity and centrifugal force. So, you know, when we make a pot, a vertical pot, when we make like a tankard or whatever, when we're lifting up to get height, we got to keep it consciously in at the top, because that pot will just, nature dictates through centrifugal force that it will widen. What height is that one that you've got there?
this one. I think I got it to 4.5.
4.5. Okay, so we want to get it up to. You see, also you see. Think about. I should just bring one over. Hang on. Here we go. So if we want to think about proportion, you see. In other words, height in relation to width, proportions. So your pot is looking a little bit a little dumpy, you know, a little short and a little too wide. So you've got to make some corrections. Again, that's something a lot of people don't know how to do, make corrections. They get themselves into a situation and they don't know how to, you know, to get out of the situation.
We have a situation here.
Carry on.
Simon, we have a situation here.
Yeah, we have a situation. Is that what did they say that at, is it during the Apollo? Is it Houston? I think we have a problem or something with it.
And it's also but there was another one of a little boy in the bathroom. He says he calls his mom. He says, I have a situation here.
Okay, so just going back to what I was talking to you about earlier, and that is the, you know, opening out the lump of clay. So I've opened mine out. I've opened it out in a kind of like a V-shape form, and if I do that, I find that when I now go to the next stage. Let me just hop off the wheel and I'll just show you this quickly. I'm going to widen this out now. I hope you can see this. So
yeah, I'm gonna lean you back. Watch.
My wheel is slowing down as I'm trying to do this, but so let's give it a few more kicks here. So I basically widened it to that. Just it's about it's about 4.5 inches. You see, at this stage.
Okay.
Now I've already gauged the thickness through my finger here to get the thickness of the base. Okay, and now I'm collaring in. You see, that move there. I've collared the clay back in because I know that if I don't throw this pot, this is just going back to my previous point. If I don't throw this pot consciously, bringing it up but in other words, keeping it conical as I lift. You see. So by doing that, you see how the top diameter is a lot less than the base diameter. So I've already established a direction here that I want to go. See, and all I've got to do is maintain that now.
And that right there is where I'm having the issues at.
Right. Well, you're letting your top get too wide.
Yeah.
You see, it's all about keeping the clay under control. A wider top, you're not going to be able to keep it under control so easily as a narrower top like this. So long as I keep the top of the pot under control, the rest of the pot will fall into line. But if the top gets out of control, so here we are, I brought the clay now right up to the gauge, up to the 5.5 inches. Doing my watering by splitting my finger away like that, putting the water just there.
Whoops.
Okay, I've got my height. Now I'm just going to do some fine tuning to the form. Making sure I don't smack the gauge. Smack the baby, but don't smack the gauge. What? So there we are. So I put this collar in at the top here, which serves various functions. It's a lip rest where I place my lip here, my bottom lip when I'm going to drink. It also, because it's a collar like this, it keeps the top of the pot more. It keeps it rounder. It keeps it from going out of round, I should say. All right, throwing stick here down the side. Don't forget the bevel there. Clean back the wheel head like that. Use the side of my throwing stick to fine tune the form and to clean the slurry off the side of the pot. Checking in my mirror, make sure that I'm happy with the form. Make sure that the lip here is, the diameter across the very top here is a little less right on the lip than what it is on the elbow there, on the collar. That helps to protect the lip from getting chipped. It helps it protect it from getting damaged. Bearing in mind that the top of your pot is the most vulnerable to chipping, followed by the very bottom of your pot, when you put it down on the table or the bench or wherever you put it. That's why it's important to put in the bevel on the base of all of your pots. I'm referring here to this angle that we use our throwing stick here. That keeps a broken edge like that. A broken corner is a much stronger corner than a sharp corner. Okay. So let's just take the camera off the tripod here, give it a quick sideways view. See in relation to the gauge there.
That's a pretty cup.
£1 pound in weight, 5.5 inches in height.
That's amazing.
So, taking my twisted cut-off wire.
That's a pretty cup.
And with the wheel going around slowly, straight through like that. Clean hands, and then find a place, move the mirror, find a place to put him. Slow the wheel down. Palm lift it off. Try and get your palms as free as you can. So we've done three things here. We've used a twisted cut-off wire of the right length to do the cut. That's important because that introduces air underneath the pot. You see, that air, introducing air underneath the pot is important. It helps to prevent suction, and that in turn, coupled with the dry hands and the fact that I've used my throwing stick on the outside here to take away the slurry, I can now lift that very easily off the wheel head and put it down on my wearboard there. So we've got there those tankards. 1 pound, 5.5 inches in height. So
Find a plug. Okay. I think I was getting ready to lose my one.
we've got a few more minutes, Susan. We've got a few more minutes.
Look at my little thing. I didn't want to mess with it.
I can't see it. I can't see it. Oh yeah.
Is it? I don't think it's wobbling.
No, that's looking good.
I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna make a bunch of these.
Yeah. Okay. Look, you've got another class. Okay. I want you though between now and another class.
Okay.
To do some homework. Okay.
Okay.
And that is concentrate on your. Let me just get a lump of clay a minute. I want you to. I don't know what the weight of this lump of clay is. It doesn't matter. It's just. I want you to concentrate on getting your pot on center, because that is going to affect not only getting the pot on center, as we spoke about, but moving the clay from that point where you break in to where you widen it out. Okay, so as far as centering is concerned, always helpful, I think, to cone up, as you just see me do, and then center down. So try and do that. And the more you do it, the better you'll get at it, you know?
Okay.
You need to have 10 or 20 lumps ready, prepared, well needed. Okay, again, you know, if you're using clay that is not very well needed, that isn't going to help you any. So get your clay well kneaded.
Okay.
All right, and don't just do 1 or 2 or 3. You need to do 21 or 22 or 23.
Okay.
Just think like that. You know, multiply whatever you think you're going to do by 10, and you may see some progress. You're not going to see much progress from 1 to 2 to 3 lumps of clay. But once you start doing 11, 12, 13, or 21, 22, 23, you will see progress. Okay, so make sure you get that lump of clay on center. Remember, I told you about using a stationary object to put beside that lump of clay if you don't know whether it's on center. I mean, I can tell a lump of clay is on center immediately just by looking at it, but not everybody can, because it's something you've got to train your eye, you see, to see. So use something like a stationary object if that helps you. Okay, then I recommend you do that breaking in, which is breaking in a V shape. Don't sink a hole.
Okay, like, that's what I need to see you do, Simon.
Don't sink a vertical borehole.
Well, that's what I've been doing. That. Yeah.
You gotta do it like this. So you get a V shape. You see, a V shape. So once you've got a V shape like that, you're then going to put your left hand in, put your right hand here, and then you're going to just
push it back, open.
Push it out to 3 o'clock. I'm twisting my arms around a little bit here so that you can see what I'm doing, but basically you want to get, that is the form that you see there that you should be aiming at.
I think I need to slow it down.
Let me bring this camera, if I can bring it over here a bit. It's on a tripod, so it's a bit awkward, but. So you see the outside wall here, slightly inclined into the center here. This angle here I'm talking about. It's slightly going inwards, you see. So all the time you're thinking about bringing this clay up into a conical form. You want to think like that, because that's what will keep your pot under control if you keep the top in. All right, and then.
All right, let me measure that.
That's looking better. That's looking a better form, what you've got there.
Better?
Yeah, that's looking like just like the one I just showed you.
Okay, it's about, well, at the rim it's 4 inches.
Yeah, okay, that'll work. So what you need to do is concentrate on opening up the form and getting it to what you've got there. Okay, you've done well there to get that. And now you need to slowly start raising that up, but keeping it conical. So you've got to concentrate on lifting inwards. You see, already you're not in enough.
Already I'm starting to, yes.
Already you're not conical enough, you see.
Yeah.
Once you've got it really conical like that, I can really get underneath the clay here and give quite a power lift, because I've already set. Generally, if you get the pot going in the direction you want it to go from the very beginning, and so long as you don't do anything wildly stupid, it'll keep in at the top. You got to bear in mind it'll always have a tendency to want to come out of the top, but you got to rein it in. You got to control it. Okay, till you get it nice. That's better. It's looking better. Okay. I don't know what this lump of clay was, but it doesn't matter. We've got our cylinder. We've got it.
But it's trying to get fat again.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting ready to mess it up now.
Yeah, you've gone wide again, you see.
I did.
You're not controlling the pot at the top by keeping it in. You're letting the pot do what it wants to do. You've got to establish your will over the clay. That's what we're doing.
Exactly what
We are dominating the clay and telling the clay to do what we want, not what it wants. And we don't take no for an answer. Get in line, boy.
Straighten yourself up here.
This is what you see. What this is all about is we are controlling the show. All right. Don't forget the bevel in the base with your throwing stick. Nice square bottom in the corner down there.
But I still even. Shoot.
You see, what's happened is you because you haven't had anybody cracking the whip over you. You've allowed yourself, not through any conscious decision of your own, but it's crept up on you, and you have got into a situation where the clay is bullying you around.
It is, Simon.
And you've got to.
I've got a lot of practice, don't I?
You've got to. So what I want you next time we do our next class together, which will be whenever we decide, your other hour that you're going to do with me, I want you to practice what we've been talking about today.
Okay.
You got to sit down for a couple of hours, and you got to get some clay ready, and you got to do it. Otherwise, that thing is going to continue to rule you.
Yeah, because if I don't get this straight, Simon, then that just affects.
No. If you don't get this right, you'll always be a floundering potter.
We can't have that.
I don't want that. I don't want you to be a floundering potter. I want you to get. I mean, I can help you. I can help you get. I can crack the whip over you and tell you what you're doing wrong, what you've got to do in order to be a. You got to be able to make that. That is, once you can do that, and once you get control and mastery over the clay, so you can control the top of the pot and keep it straight, you will be able to make anything you want. Learning pottery is learning how to do that. Once you can do that, you can do anything. But conversely, if you don't do that, if you can't do that,
that affects everything that I do.
Yeah, if you can do this, that's all you got to focus on, just making that. And then you'll be able to make that.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my God, that is pretty.
You'll be able to make that.
Oh, now see, I like that. That's what I would like. Those little bowls are precious.
You'll be able to make a little mustard pot and a lid.
Oh.
Or a slightly more conical, lidded.
See, those are one of my favorite things, or those little lidded cylinders like that.
I'm going to be making some more of those. I've got another little one here, which I sort of had in front of me as a.
Yeah, that's some of my favorite things. I like those. So, I would like to be able to make.
But Susan, I
want to make myself a set of candles.
What is that? Is it
It's a cylinder.
Is it not a cylinder? It's just a little cylinder. All we've done to it, yeah, we put
It
some,
is,
we
right.
fluted it, but we made a gallery for a lid, but that's all it is. It's just a cylinder. So the cylinder is the root for many shapes, you see. Not every shape, basically, but I mean, like a tankard, it's basically a cylinder. Okay. So you go away and do some practicing and all that, and we will meet again.
Okay.
You contact me.
All right, I'll send you an email, Simon.
Just email me, say, look, I think I'm ready for another class now.
Okay.
And then we will arrange a date.
Okay, Simon.
I hope this class has been helpful to you. And
You just don't know how much.
don't be discouraged. Okay, many potters, many people who get into pottery don't get any kind of training, and unfortunately, you know, everybody kind of like begs, borrows, and steals from whatever their neighbor is doing, and what are you doing, and what's she doing, and you know, so nobody really. There's no real roadmap as to where people are going, and they need a roadmap. This is a roadmap. Okay? So,
Okay, thank you.
God bless you. And until next time.
Take care.
You take care. And you
Stay
write to me when you're ready. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Susan. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye, Simon. Bye-bye.
Bye.